Okay, now looking at correct use of function notation. Okay, pitfalls. F of x equals something, so f of aardvark equals something. What's this mean? Okay, if you have a formula for f of x, then you're going to have some stuff over here, and it's going to have some x's in it, right? So you got some x's here and x's there and so forth. Then what's f of aardvark? Well, aardvark has replaced x, so aardvark needs to replace any x's you have over here. So if you've got, you know, x here and x here and, you know, x here and x up here, you're going to have, now I had to use a long word, aardvark here, aardvark here, and aardvark here, and aardvark here. Whatever else happens to be in this. All your x's are going to be replaced by aardvark. Okay? Now, f of a plus b. I see it all the time. This is not f of a plus f of b. Now, actually, it is if f of x is a linear function, but yeah, just a unique case, and that's the only case where it would be true, so we just don't even think it. Okay? F of a plus b is not f of a plus f of b. Function notation doesn't distribute. If f of x equals x squared, f of a plus b equals a plus b squared, which is a plus b, as we're saying, times a plus b, which is a squared plus 2ab plus b squared, and you do this by the distributive law, not by some superstition. Okay. F of ax is not what? It's not f of a times f of x. Again, function notation doesn't distribute over multiplication either. Okay? You're going to plug in ax is your aardvark. You're going to put that in every place you see an x in the definition of f of x. Okay? And it's not a times f of x. Okay? You use the rule. You identify where the x's are and you replace them with ax, and then you go from there. Okay? F of x plus h, very important expression, if you're thinking in terms of rates of change and so forth. F of x plus h is not f of x plus h, because that's not what you get if you replace all your x's in the definition by this aardvark. Okay? You're going to have an x plus h here, you're going to have one here, you're going to have one here, you're going to have one here. Wherever they are, wherever the x's are, you're going to have to have a quantity x plus h in place of it. And that's not going to give you f of x plus h. Okay? You see that way too often. Okay? F of x plus h plus f of x over h. If you do the rule, which is very simple, just replace all your x's by the aardvarks. In this case, you replace all your x's by x plus h, and then you write it down again with just the f of x definition, and you write down your h here, and then you do stuff with it. And this is not with many exclamation points. F of x plus f of x over h, which is what you would get if you did the other thing that I really don't like to see people do because they do it wrong, and think that you can cancel out that h. There's no justification for that. You don't know how h behaves in the function f of x. Okay? And besides which, f of x plus h plus f of x means f of x plus h over h plus f of x over h by the distributive law, which we still struggle with in some cases. Okay? So you just don't do this. Okay? So, I don't even like to look at that, so I'm going to put the h back. Okay? So you want to be careful about those pitfalls.